Good afternoon, all. Camelback Trading 2724 coming to you this Wednesday afternoon, December 4th. Looking at the market profile of the SPY ETF. And bulls with a decent day. Turns into a P-shape, though. The gap holds. Never got below the opening once we traded above it. But once we got up, we briefly had a chance for a trend day up. We had single prints for about 15 seconds, I think. We end 11 wide and then totally flush out in M period. It was a huge battle area at last week's low. Remember, we took out 3 weekly lows. Well, we got back into 2 of those weekly range fairly easily. The bears on this one said not so fast, as they continually rejected them at last week's low. 5 or 6 time frames here when they got to the highs. As far as me, not a good day. Took a trade early. When the market opened, I didn't do anything. And then when we went down, I was looking maybe to take calls. Didn't get down far enough. Now, when it came back up to around that POC from that previous day, I said I wanted to short it. And I did. The problem was I continued to short it. Which turned out to put me in a hole early as we ran up. I said I was going to wait for the gap and maybe M's low. Well, I didn't only wait for that. I waited for everything. So I battled for 2 solid hours. I'm sorry, 3 hours between 9:30 and basically 12:30 when I finally did a tremendous amount of work. Started with a decent size here, so I was in a hole early. Tremendous amount of work to get it back to even. And what that did was cause me to miss trades the rest of the day. Because right after that, once F came down and G couldn't take it out, I said there's a good chance that could be our afternoon pullback low. That would have been a perfect entry in G period. My mental capital was shot, didn't do it. Again, in J and K period, I had faded it. Well, I didn't fade it. I already had the huge position. I made it a lot bigger in E, which really helped me when it came in. This should have been faded again. Because by that time, we were 10 wide. The odds of having a trend day up, I thought was slim at that point. Again, didn't take the trade. And look what happened in K, L, and M. So not only did that trade take up tremendous amount, my entire morning just to basically scratch, it kept me out of 2 very good trades later in the day. Live and learn. All right, destinations for the upside. So the first one will be 311.66, where we were 11 wide. Then it's 312.12, which is today's high. 312.61, single prints that get filled at 313.02, and 313.09, our highest accepted price from December 2nd. For the downside, our first destination will be today's low of 310.32, and then fill in the gap at 309.64, a 68-point gap. And then below that, we have 309.61, which was the price probe, 309.13 price spike, and 308.42, which was 10 wide from the third. And then, quickly on the charts, monthly up, gap is my main focus. Weekly, we are firmly in a 4-week balance now, right? The all-time high and this week's low. And daily, we are now in a balance, right? So now we're in balance again after taking out yesterday's high, and the gap has held so far. Hopefully you all had a better day than I did. Have a great evening, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.